Are you looking for an easy, tasty side dish to complement your next holiday meal? David Leite is a food writer and the author of the new Portuguese Table, and he's here to share one of his favorite recipes. Welcome, David, back to our kitchen. It's great to always have you with us.
Always a pleasure, Jocelyn. You know that.
And let's tell everybody what we are making today.
We are making sauteed chestnuts, onions, and bacon, but we're not having chestnuts.
That's right. We're having?
We're having pecans, and the reason why is this week, or the latest early next week, that chestnuts, the kind that I need for this recipe, will be in stores. And those are not the kind that you find that you roast yourself. These are actually in vacuum packed bags, or they're in jars.
Oh, really?
And they're already cooked, already peeled.
And they're ready to just eat.
Just pop in your mouth. And what's great about them, they're slightly sweet, so they add a nice flavor to this. And I prefer people get the ones in the jars because they remain more intact. Sometimes the vacuum packed bags can kind of crush them a little bit. So that's kind of my little caveat, even though, so we're going to demonstrate with good old southern pecans.
All right, let's take a look at the ingredients that you have here.
Okay, great. What you do to start this, it's absolutely simple.
Okay.
Is that you take bacon, and you cut it up, and then you saute it, which is what I've got here. And I've removed most of it, and you just finish.
Can you use turkey bacon or not?
No, absolutely not. This has to be good old-fashioned pork bacon and thickly sliced. Like I like to go to my butcher and ask for it to be thickly sliced, but you can also get it in the packages. That's perfectly fine. And you remove it, and you want to drain off all but about 3 tablespoons of fat, which is what we've already done here. And just for demonstration purposes, these are large pearl onions or small boiling onions. The size you want really is this. This is perfect. And what you want to do is just want to pop them in, and you want to start searing them. And you cook them for about 10 to 12 minutes until they get nicely spotted. And then what we got is we have that here. Now these have been cooking. This is just a little bit to show what's going on. See how beautifully caramelized they are?
When I think of pearl onions, I think of holidays.
Exactly. And this will take you from now all the way to the end of Thanksgiving and then Christmas and even to New Year's. It's a lovely, simple fall dish. And you can even make it in the middle of the week. It's that simple.
All right, so you just saute it until it gets really soft?
And yes, you want to do about 10 minutes or so. And if you have larger ones, a little secret is put a little bit of water in and put the lid on.
Okay.
And keep it on low, and that'll make some of the larger ones, it'll cook them down. I like mine with a little bit of crunch inside. But if you don't, just put the cover on with a little bit of water, cook it down, it'll be perfectly soft.
You don't add anything here like salt or pepper?
Not right now, because you're going to add back, don't forget it's cooking in the bacon fat.
Oh, that's right.
So there's some salt in there. Then you add back all the bacon. I mean, who does not love bacon and bacon fat? I mean, anything cooked in bacon fat we'd eat, right?
Okay, while you're doing that, let's talk about what you're blogging about these days. What's going on?
Well, we just finished a Lollapalooza, or a pumpkin palooza, about pumpkin recipes that'll take you again all the way through the fall. And we are getting ready for our Thanksgiving, out-of-the-box Thanksgiving.
What does that mean?
Which means all these recipes that you don't think of, unusual recipes. Like, for instance, there's a raw Brussels sprout salad that's shaved really thin with a vinaigrette.
I love Brussels sprouts.
And there's an inside-out pumpkin pie, and all these unusual kind of dishes. Now, the one thing is sacrosanct that we did not touch: turkey.
So you are traditional.
Traditional when it comes to turkey, but everything around it is all what we call out of the box.
You know, I fry up my turkey.
Do you really deep fry?
I love it, love it.
Wow, you're brave.
It's great. We actually put it out in the middle of the driveway.
You have to.
Because you have to,
and call
just
the
in
fire
case
department.
Something happens, right? And it's great. You got to try that.
Well, you know, we were thinking about doing that, but, you know, there's some liability that goes along with that, and you have to be very responsible.
A lot of disclaimers, absolutely.
And some people are just sort of like tippling a little bit, so we wanted to be careful with that. But good for you.
Oh,
I'm coming to your house.
I actually fry up 2 turkeys every Thanksgiving.
Are you serious?
We have leftovers.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great for sandwiches, and when you tailgate, it's fabulous.
I'll tell you, you are a brave cook, lady. You're a brave cook.
All right, how are things looking over here?
Excellent. You have the onions, you have the bacon, and then now this would be chestnuts, but we're going to put in the pecans. Now, these pecans have been toasted in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes at 300, just to take off some of the rawness of it. So that's looking good.
Now, can you use something else other than pecans or chestnuts if you don't have either one?
Sure, you can use walnuts if you want. That has a little bit more of a bitter flavor, but you can. Almonds if you'd like. Of course, starting with the chestnuts is very Portuguese, and then we're moving through the American nuts. But you can use really any kind of nut because there's that meatiness.
Okay.
Now, here's the secret, and this is what I think is wonderful. Honey is a real beloved ingredient in Portugal. And when you put this in, what that does is it starts creating this melange of flavor. You got the saltiness from the bacon, you have the sweetness from the honey, you have the sweetness and the caramelization from the onion, and sort of the meatiness and sort of that kind of crunch from the nuts or the chestnuts.
Somewhat candied-like.
You could, yes, exactly. It's kind of candied. but it kind of pulls back a little bit from that flavor because candy can sometimes be a little bit too sweet. And then this is now when you season with salt, and you also season with a liberal amount of pepper. And then what you do is you have it all, you pop it into your bowl right there, a little bit of garnish of parsley, and you're all set.
Can you add candied cranberries to this?
You can add candied cranberries if you'd like. I mean, you can really tailor this because it really is one of those sort of very simple dishes that you can add anything to. Now, what's also wonderful is that this is very versatile. So, for instance, let's say you have the same old stuffing that you make year after year after year.
Oh, it's really soft.
All you have to do is you can take the onions, you can quarter them, you can also add all the ingredients and then pop them into the stuffing and you can stir it around and you have a whole different flavor. And some of my readers, do you like it?
I could actually hear the crunch.
Isn't it what I like? If
delicious.
you want it more cooked, you can put the cover on and you can cook with water a little bit longer. And some of our readers from Canada wrote us, they made this for their Thanksgiving, which was last month, but they used maple syrup. They did not use honey.
So if we come over to your house for Thanksgiving, will we see this dish?
This will be on Thanksgiving table. Absolutely.
Great. Of course, I want to remind everybody that this recipe will be on our website. So click on our website, click on Connecticut Style, and David, we're going to try to check back with you later on.
Absolutely.